my question tonight is I'm in the process of going through. I just watched you had the real estate blueprint course. I watched that, the EYL thing, and we came up with we're gonna go VA, get a VA loan, but can I can I turn around and do the FHA loan right after that, like after that, and do the little, the 4-2 4-3-2-1 thing that you said? Like, can you do it like that, or do you have to? Once you have the VA loan, you're not qualified for a VA FHA.
So you have a single family with the VA loan?
I'm about to purchase a home like that.
What type of home? Single family?
Single family, yeah.
So it's much harder to go single family than a multifamily, right? So if you're looking to buy the single family first with the VA, now then when you're ready to go buy your multifamily, they're going to probably treat it as a true investment property versus you trying to house hack it. So you're probably going to have to put up 20%. So if you could sacrifice, if you want to be a landlord, right? And this is what I try to tell everybody. And I don't know your family situation. You have kids and everything?
Yeah.
So
and we live in Delaware. So it's like the houses that are like multifamily houses are not really in the neighborhoods that we trying to live in.
I was just about to say that. You took the words right out of my mouth. That's exactly why I asked you if you had kids, right? It's very difficult to sacrifice. And I know on the internet, people will say, yo, sacrifice and go here and da-da-da-da. Right now, when you have kids, when you're living in our areas, the multifamilies are in the hood for the most part. And the school districts and everything is not conducive to the lifestyle that we want our children to live in, right? Because we grew up that way. We don't want our children to grow up that way. So if you are going to do your single family first with the VA, do it 100% and don't have no doubts about that. You're doing the right move. Now you just have to understand with doing that, you have to be able to now treat any multifamily property as a true investment. And that's going to mean 20% down. That means putting it in your LLC. So house hacking 4-3-2-1 might be out of the question for you. And that's a good thing, right? You just need to now figure out, since we are doing a VA, 100% financing, try to negotiate the closing costs. So that way you can try to come out of pocket with as little money as possible. And you still probably have a nest egg where you can now take that, especially if you're going to invest in Delaware, where it's a little bit more affordable, to buy multifamilies. Then you go ahead and you buy those and just put down 20% down, buy it in your LLC name, and start building your portfolio that way.
Because we had a house and we sold our house because the house is up. So we sold our house for the equity. That way I had money. We had money to invest. But I was just wondering if I could just start off with the 3% down. But I guess not.
Nah, I mean if you're using the VA, first of all, thank you for your service too. So if you're going to use the VA, use that VA for the one family and just now you still got all that equity from. Now, it's not even equity no more. You got cash now. You know what I'm saying? So now you take that cash and you go leverage that with funding to go ahead and now build your portfolio, because you were thinking using 3% down, et cetera, but now you're using VA. So that 3% stays in your pocket. You negotiate yourself a seller's concession. Now that closing cost or majority of it can stay in your pocket as well. And now you take that money that you were going to possibly use on your single family from the sale of the other residence. Now you use that to go buy you a multifamily. So that sale you did could now turn into 2 properties right off the bat. I just don't think you're going to be in position because of your family to house hack as I speak about it, because where the multifamilies are is just not conducive for the lifestyle. So take that money, buy 2 properties, one in your personal name with VA, the other one in your LLC's name, right? And then you use that. And now that investment property never shows up on your personal credit. So it will never impact your overall debt to income ratio on your personal name. And you do it that way, bro. And you build your portfolio, you get enough cash flow now. So those properties that you invest in, that cash flow, now you can move that towards the mortgage payment of your primary residence on the VA house, and now you're still house hacking, but you're just doing it a different way.
I appreciate it, brother.
No doubt, bro. That's what we're here for, man. Good luck.
All right.
Great
Thank
question.
you. Up next, we have Dahlia. You go ahead and unmute yourself.
Dahlia. Hello, Dahlia.
If you're speaking, we can't hear you, Dahlia.
My mother's name is Dahlia.
Okay. For the interest of time, I'm going to move on to the next person, Dahlia. If we have time, we'll come back.
No bathroom breaks.
Marche, you could go ahead and unmute yourself.
Good evening.
Hey, what's up? How are you, Queen?
How are you today, MG? I had a quick question about NACA. Are you familiar with NACA?
A little bit.
Okay, so I am a current homeowner, and through the NACA program, you cannot be a homeowner and go through their program. They require that you sell your primary residence in order, prior to signing papers on your new residence, since it is going to be, they need it to be your primary residence. So I was trying to determine whether or not I am able to refinance my home, not really refinance my home, but turn my home, get an investment loan on my home in my business name and not get in trouble trying to, navigate their program.
All right, you confusing me here, Queen.
Okay.
What are you really trying to do here?
I'm trying to keep my existing home, but I wanted to push it under my LLC to get it out of my name. I wanted to sell it to my LLC and then still go through their program. But it just looks like I'm trying to avoid selling my current home. But if it comes to that, then I'm still willing to do that. So that's why I was wondering what your knowledge base was with their program.
What's the interest rate on your current home?
It's 4%.
And do you like this house or no?
I'm ready to move. So I guess ultimately it's no.
How much do you owe and how much is it worth?
I owe $60,000 on it and it's worth $220,000.
$220,000. Okay. So, and you're thinking about possibly making this a rental property. How much rent could you get from this property?
Any around 14.
So if you were to, all right, I'll say this. I would, if you don't like the house, you don't want the house, I would take my money and run it. I would just sell it. And I will go and buy what I really want. I will upgrade because it just sounds like you just don't want no parts of this house, period. So I would, and going from the process of moving into your LLCs and selling it to your LLC and having a much higher interest rate, probably double, triple than what you are right now, that from a cash flow perspective, that might not even cash flow, just depending on how much you sell it to yourself and kind of go there. So I don't know. I personally would just sell it. This sounds like too much of a headache. And then I would go ahead and just buy the house that you want and take that proceed, just like I just told the gentleman that was in Delaware.